Hi guys, my name is Drew Moore. This is my Understanding My Community project. I work at Olentangy Liberty High School in Powell, Ohio, and this is my project for EDL 856, School and Community Relations. And here we go. Customs and traditions. Again, we're located in Powell, Ohio. It is in Delaware County, which is one of the largest counties in the state of Ohio, a suburb of Columbus. The town itself was established in 1947, and this stat has actually improved over time. I believe we're in the top 10, but in July of 2005, CNN Money Magazine rated Powell the 18th best place to live in the United States. A lot of different factors that went into that. Some expectations, I felt the need to put this into traditions. The school has been around only since 2003, but it is an upper middle class community. Exceptional test scores in the past. I'll talk about those a little bit more upcoming. But the students typically attend college. Over 95% of the student body does attend college. The average GPA is a 3.5. The average ACT score is a 25. So a very highly successful student body. Extracurricular success in all facets, athletic, artistic, and it's home to traditional Midwestern restaurants. There aren't very many, major financial, technological type businesses that are located in Powell. Just to continue with the school district, I kind of hit on this a little bit, but the mission statement is to facilitate maximum learning for every student. And there's actually 37 total schools in the district, 3 high schools, a 4th coming in 2018. That's if a levy this March does pass. So we have over 30,000 students. Each high school is over 2,000, and the one I specifically work at is at 2,200. So Liberty High School is 137 teachers. I just talked about the GPA and the test scores, so pretty high achieving. Population characteristics. Again, Powell, Ohio, not incredibly large, has moved up 95.9% since 2000 as far as the population. So it's over 12,000, I believe 12,500. Males, females about 50% as far as each one of them goes. The average age is 37, and people that are under 18, there's actually 34% of all people are living in Powell that are under 18 years of age. And a very small senior citizen percentage was 7.7%. As far as the racial makeup, Caucasian is definitely the highest with 88.5%. African American is 1.9%, and then Hispanic and Latino 1.4%, with some other races that kind of fit to that, getting to 100. Educational background, as far as the actual community, but a high school diploma or higher, 98%, and then bachelor's degree or higher. I was pretty impressed with this, was over 70%. Communication channels. So as far as Liberty High School and the district getting information to students, teachers, faculty members, they do a really good job with this. Patriot Parent. This is sent by the principal weekly. Very detailed letter. Patriot Report. I would say the Patriot Report from principal to teachers is actually a little bit less detailed than the Patriot Parent, which is probably how it should be. We have a news program called the 810, which is totally student-led and kind of guided by one of our English teachers. We have a program called Schoology, which is basically online access. Teachers lead it. Every class they have has a Schoology account. It's set up, if you're not familiar with what it is, it's set up just like Facebook. So it's real easy for the kids to follow, real easy for the teachers to follow. Parents can get involved with it. Real easy access if they miss a day of school, if they want to submit assignments online. Pretty good technological advances. Remind 101, this is a text messaging system that administrators, get messages across to teachers, teachers get messages across to students. Coaches can get messages across to their teams. A real easy way to keep up communication levels, and they can actually text back and send out messages to groups and things like that. So pretty neat system. I'm sure a lot of you have used something like that. The district itself, Olentangy K12.oh.us would be the actual website if you wanted to check that out a little bit more. Columbus Dispatch is our newspaper that Central Ohio is really focused on, and that kind of bleeds into the Powell area as well, as there's a section kind of that is focused on Delaware County. WIFM Radio, this is, again, Delaware County, so there's going to be up to 7 high schools that are going to be involved with some on with FM radio. Community groups, lots of these. I just put a few on here. The boosters, absolutely phenomenal as far as athletics go. The facilities, a tip top. I mean, I was a college football coach for 7 years. I worked at Division III schools. Our high school facilities blow it out of the water. Not even close. And they can definitely stand true and be pretty proud of their boosters and what they've done. FOF is Friends of Football. So football being the biggest group, they felt like they need to have a group of boosters that are solely dedicated to that because of it being the biggest sport. So the parents lead that. The OPA, Olentangy Parent Association, as far as fundraisers, Mom's Club of Powell, Dad's Club of Liberty High School, Big Brothers and Sisters, the American Legion. Some of these things are just local things that our kids get involved in as well. Leadership. Okay, as far as this goes, just in the city of Powell, there's a police department. Okay, with Liberty Townships. We have our own fire department. We don't have volunteers with the fire department. We do have volunteers with paramedics, with those kind of professionals. In the mayor's office, okay, obviously we have a mayor, 6 council members, pretty impressive group of guys, and most of them have been natives of Powell throughout growing up. I think it's 5 out of the 6 members. So doctors, lawyers, financial type people, just business owners. These are the people that kind of lead the city, and you can find that information on cityofpowell.us. As far as the district goes, the Board of Education, 8 members. A lot of them are assigned to different schools. They're very involved. You'll see them at my high school. I'll see multiple members. This probably happens once or twice a week, just popping in. They do have other jobs, like most Board of Education members do, but they're incredibly involved, very supportive. Just a great group of people. Parents, as well. 4 assistant principals, and we have the 1 superintendent, and then the elementary school we have 1 principal, 1 assistant. In the middle schools, we have 1 principal, 2 assistants, and then the high schools we have 1 principal and 3 assistants. And they took upon themselves to add that extra assistant because of the evaluation process in the state of Ohio. Liberty High School itself, teacher advisory committee. Department heads actually meet with the administration, and then we have the principal's advisory committee, which is actually students, and then they're chosen by the teachers to kind of lead their classes, and the principal meets with these class leaders. This happens weekly. A third of our teaching staff coaches at least 1 sport. We have 27 total sports, so that's a pretty good number. And then over half of the teaching staff is involved with extracurricular activities, which I felt was a very impressive stat to hit over 50%. With leadership, again, I kind of added this in here, leadership and execution in our high school. So how do we portray leadership? How do we get it across to our kids? Positive patriot. This is a use of character-driven words to elect certain kids. So one of the words might be honesty. This month might be trustworthy. Just buzzwords and things like that. And then they actually get invited to a breakfast monthly, where parents can accompany them. So I thought that was pretty cool, or is cool. Patriot of the Month, Athletes of the Month, Strength Athlete of the Month, so we actually work towards the weight room as well. ALICE training, okay, for the staff and the students. Every 6 weeks we're going to hit some piece of that ALICE training. I'm sure a lot of you have done this for your evacuation, in case there's an intruder in the school. Professional development opportunities, they're great with these. Ashland University out of Ohio, they give us a lot of money towards paying for those courses, with the affiliation with that university. Community leaders, okay, as far as their characteristics. The Board of Education, local leaders, okay, I talked about them a little bit. Really good with parent meetings. They provide speakers frequently for the community, to kind of sit in on, different professionals dealing with kids, dealing with families, dealing with getting your kids involved with certain things. I've sat in on a couple, just from having a 2-year-old that's going to be in the preschool level here, in a year or so. Occupations, okay, I talked about these a little bit earlier. Within the community, I'm not going to hit all of these, but fitness is a big deal, with our community. Our mayor is an entrepreneur. He owns multiple gyms. The really neat thing about that is students and staff and families of Liberty High School are going to get those discounts, which is pretty cool. So I talked about Habitat for Humanity, Relay for Life, okay, dealing with cancer survivors and things like that. 20 different business sponsors. Those are highlighted numerous times throughout the school building, and the City Council, Board of Education work hand in hand. And a lot of them are, they grew up in this area, so that's kind of neat. Knowing economic conditions, Powell is a community that said it's a suburb of Columbus, so average household income is $125,000. The median home value is $324,000. They only have 1.2% below the poverty level, so a pretty affluent area, okay, for the most part. And I attained some of that information from those websites. Great job security at Liberty High School. We don't have a lot of turnover. Even if somebody goes and let's say they get a coaching job at another school, they don't leave. They typically stay at the school that they're working at. They passed every levy up the past 30 years, and this is pretty impressive. I've only been there 3 years, but the staff has received a 2.25% increase in pay and an extra step each of the last 5 years. And when you pay your teachers, you definitely you have good educators. I mean, you have people that are great at what they do, and it was amazing coming into that building, seeing what some of these people can do. Political structure. As far as what the state has given us, Olentangy students received over $1,000 per student for 2014. I thought that was up about $350, I believe, from the year before. Average school district receives 65% of what the residents pay in taxes. Olentangy only actually received 4%. They received more than 500% more state funding in 2015 than did in 2013. And then we have a levy, that's going to be coming up for a 4th high school. It's a big one because it's an increase of over $50 per month per household in taxes. So that's a big deal. Social tensions, we don't really have any. As far as the community goes, that everybody gets along pretty good. Cliques, gangs, there's not a lot of that going on from what I've seen. No apparent discrimination, or anything like that. Extracurriculars. All athletes are actually trained by an outside entity. I was a collegiate strength coach for 6 years, and I actually had a chance to work with a friend of mine through Ohio State University. So I actually do some of the training with the athletes, being employed part-time by Ohio State. So that's kind of neat. They bring them in. Our athletic director has a group called the Liberty Way. We have 27 total sports. So the Liberty Way basically means uncanny, all-out support for every sport and for every kid that wants to participate in anything they can do. So it's very, very supportive, great leadership roles and programs, and it's pretty phenomenal what they do. Awareness groups are established in high school. Bullying is student-led. Social media education, teacher and student-led. Stress, depression, awareness, diversity. Just a lot of options for those kids. And those are my sources, and I think I'm getting up towards time. Thank you so much for listening. I'm getting pretty passionate about it as I talk, and you guys have a good night.